Excuse me? This is my studio.
No, it's the other studio.
This is my desk.
No, it's the other desk.
But these are my scripts.
No, this is the other script.
Isn't this the news?
It's the other news.
So where do I go? Oh, the other building.
Your mind did it. Yes, you're welcome. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair visited Kaduna State and promised to fix everything. It will be as good as Iraq, he promised. The people of Kaduna responded immediately. The Baale of Shangisha has been deposed for faking his own kidnapping. Members of the Union of Nigerian Kidnappers are outraged and have threatened to sue the ex-Baale for impersonation. How dare you? Anyway, judge us by our campaign promises. But be fair, says the APC spokesperson, to Nigerians, of course. And that reminds me of a man who said to his wife, yes, I cheated, but at least I used protection. Anyway, last week, the owner of Ife and his entourage raised more than a few eyebrows and blood pressure when they boarded a commercial flight. And this is what happened. Tradition met modern aviation, but it was hardly love at first sight because some of the passengers had this reaction. Jesus! The young monarch was heading to Canada. Yes, he was heading to Canada. Yeah. And had decided as a humble king that he is to fly with, the people rather than on a private jet. 1 minute you are a passenger seated in economy and next thing you know, the cabin is being upgraded to ruling class. Wow. Well, I'm sure some more passengers tried to get off the flight. But first, they had to get past this guy. Well, you can see he clearly positioned himself there to prevent anyone from escaping. Passengers thought he was the new flight attendant, giving pre-flight safety briefing. In the event of an emergency, do not panic. Just put your hands in the air and say, "Kabiesio." Remember when in primary school the class prefect or some oversabi will write a list of noisemakers? Well, here at the other news, we have remixed that list to include personalities, happenings, and entities that troubled us during the week. Top of our list of noisemakers this week is the overall Baale of America, Donald Trump. Ever since his hands became an object of ridicule, US President Donald Trump has made it his mission to prove the size and strength of his hands, yes. Which is why when he met French President Emmanuel Macron, nobody was surprised when they engaged in a 25-second handshaking duel. Wow. And two people shaking hands for that long can only mean one thing. They are dating.
And French President Emmanuel Macron engaging in a lengthy handshake. This is the beginning. He passed on the hand, the two leaders gripping for a long time at the Bastille Day parade, talking, looking around, never releasing that we can tell. Looks like they're still together.
All right. Noisemaker number 2 is our Auntie Desiani. Alison Madeke, Auntie, yo. Well, yeah, she has been quiet for a while. But what you don't know about our younger and troublemaker Auntie, well, court documents filed by the U.S. Department of Justice allege that the embattled former petroleum minister warned her associates Kola Aluko and Jide Omokore about their spending habits. Alison Madeke said, if you want to hire a yacht, you lease it for 2 weeks or whatever. You don't go and sink funds into it at this time that Nigeria oil and gas sector is under. Good advice, Auntie. But you should have known that asking Nigerians to curb their flamboyance and extravagant lifestyle is like telling an old woman to close her legs. Now your mate? Not your mate. All right. The final noisemaker on our list is the telecoms company formerly known as Etisalat Nigeria. Etisalat Nigeria changed its name to Nine Mobile just 3 days before the ultimatum to desist from using the Etisalat brand name expired. What's Nine Mobile? What's Nine Mobile? Nine Mobile sounds like a cat on the last life. Etisalat Nigeria. I mean, wow, Etisalat, you defaulted on a 541 billion naira debt. And the parent company pulled out of Nigeria, proving that when it comes to screwing up, Etisalat, you are the real king of pulling out on time.
Excuse me? This is my studio.
No, it's the other studio.
This is my desk.
No, it's the other desk.
But these are my scripts.
No, this is the other script.
Isn't this the news?
It's the other news.
So where do I go? Oh, the other building.
Your mind did it.
Yes, you're welcome.
What do a red cap chief, timber sellers, and school children have in common? We now have a special report on cutting-edge technology from our correspondents, Daniel D. Humors and Mo Williams.
Thank you very much, Okey. 2018 is indeed going to be a great year in the world of science and technology. In the United States, they're developing a drug to prevent obesity, which is good news for people like me.
Also, Japan will be going to the moon, and Kenya will be launching Africa's first high-speed railway system.
And in Nigeria, we'll be making our own pencils.
Pencils? You have to be kidding me.
No, we're not kidding here. We mean business. This is the best news I've heard all year. And it's coming from none other than the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology.
By just producing pencils in Nigeria, we can create as many as 400,000 jobs.
But this man is the Minister of Science and Technology. What does that have to do with pencils?
Is it your minister? Is it your technology?
Yeah, right. I mean, who needs a supersonic jet when we've got more important issues like pencils and drawing?
Well, word on the street has it that the Akwa Ibom state government has already gone ahead of the federal government to commence production of pencils. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to pencil down an interview.
Okay.
Mr. Alfadebong, it's nice having you on the phone. What was the inspiration, the motivation behind the production of pencils in Akwa Ibom State?
The main idea is get people off the streets and into work, create employment opportunities and wealth creation opportunities for our people.
How have these pencils improved life for the people of Akwa Ibom State? Who these pencils don't help?
Let me tell you, in terms of employment opportunities and getting people off the streets and letting them know that they can be working for paid jobs. In terms of the whole value chain, you have the boss or the truck driver that now has a defined income. Even the woman selling mama put in that factory area now has gone ahead to employ several more other young ladies to help her cook. Because, so you see, it's a whole value chain with a lot of employment opportunities.
What would we be making next? Sharpeners, erasers, or supersonic jets?
We are going to start production of biros.
And I'm going to ask, the evil spirits we are talking about, is it that when you leave Aso Rock, they leave you and stay back at Aso Rock, or they follow you back home?
I leave that to you.
No, you've been there and out. So we are wondering, I'm sure most Nigerians are asking, did you take some of your own share of the evil spirits?
The evil spirits did not follow me home. I left them behind.
Okay,
so the point I was making in that,
yes,
a lot of people thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
They thought it was fiction. But I was just describing my own experience.
Yes.
And after I wrote that piece, the interesting thing is that many of my former colleagues there kept calling me and they said, you didn't reflect my own experience. You didn't reflect my own experience. One journalist, Ben Agande, a journalist with Vanguard, did a follow-up piece, which was even longer and even more frightening. Because he now went out of his way to talk to some of the security guards.
He even experienced more spirits than you documented.
No, he talked to other people within the village, security guards and all
who were experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, and some of the things they told him, after reading his piece, I called him. And I said, this your own is even more frightening.
So do you think these evil spirits will still be there now?
Well, I should ask you.
No, because, you can't help but wonder. We know that too many religious leaders go to Aso Rock to visit the president. So even their presence can't scare away the spirits?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the villa is a place that is accessible to all Nigerians.
Yes.
Once you are given an appointment,
So all these big pastors and imams, they just come and go and the spirits look at them and say,
there are people who have
you.
said, you know, they need to go there and do spiritual cleansing and all kinds of things. But, you know, it's the seat of government.
They're probably waiting for budget approval for spiritual cleansing.
And our experience is an integral experience, both physical, emotional, spiritual.
Nigeria is that dysfunctional family in your neighborhood that everyone knows needs serious counseling, but no one is bold enough to tell them to get it. Nigeria, we have to talk. Let's have a hashtag family meeting. Come, gather round so we can have a civilized conversation about the things that really matter. All right, so get on Twitter and Facebook, use the hashtag family meeting, and tell us what you want to restructure about Nigeria.